Shawna Karrasch here with a couple Ask Shawna answers left for this evening. These last couple are little tiny print because I printed them from Facebook. I mean, tiny print. So so I'm going to be, I have to wear my reading glasses. I hardly ever wear reading glasses, but I just can't see it. So you're going to get to see me in them. I just had to pull them out. Okay, so the first question is, hi Shawna, I went to a clinic on target training in Southern Pines about a year ago and really liked it. I started target training with my horse and he seemed to pick it up very easily. I haven't worked with him in a while, but I'm going to start back. I just started with the actual target, having him touch it. I went to use target training to carry over to trail riding. He is an off-the-track thoroughbred. His main issue is he jigs when he trail rides. The more horses, the worse it is. I basically have stopped trail riding because it got so bad. What exercises can I practice at home and under saddle that will help with this, and where do you recommend I start? Okay, Sabrina, you have, it's a basic de-spooking exercises, I think, is what's going to help you quite a bit. A lot of times when they have these issues with the trail riding, it's related to new situations, new environments, too much stimulus, don't know how to deal properly with stimulus, but you also maybe have I would also work with some other horses if you could as well. So I don't know if you're in an arena ever, and maybe when you're in the arena, he's completely fine in a schooling arena with 8,000 horses. And so maybe it's not too many horses, maybe it's just still the trail thing. And the horses, the extra horses add just that much more to watch, and he just can't keep track of it all. But I would work on some basic de-spooking, which is a general, systematic desensitization process exercises. So what this does, it tends to build quite a bit of boldness and confidence in the horses because they learn how to deal with new, novel, unpredictable situations. And when they learn that new, novel, unpredictable situations can equal good as opposed to end up bad, they start to look at them a lot differently, and so they get much calmer about it and much more settled about it. So I think in your situation, just doing some basic exercises. I do have a 6-part DVD that I start with some basic stuff, moving up to more advanced, stuff as they get better about it. But in a nutshell, these exercises, what they will do, and it's just de-spooking your horse, building boldness and confidence. You can find them on my website if you're interested in that. But basically what these kind of exercises do, and even just simple exercises will do it. Things like, having, a jacket hanging on a chair in the barn and then walking them by, or in the paddock or wherever. And, you walk them by, and at first they may go, what's that? How weird is that? And then I wouldn't draw attention to that. I might just keep walking by, and then I'd kind of make another pass coming back by. And if they look more relaxed, I'd click and reinforce the relaxed or the relaxation. So maybe they don't go by completely like, oh, now it's nothing. But they don't go by like this. They just kind of go like, well, I'm just kind of watching now. That's better. It's an improvement, and I would take that. So I'd start with these basic exercises, then the next day I'd put something else in a different place. You don't want to go to the biggest, scariest things first. You want to go to just some little things. You can put it in the arena, put it in, the barn, put it in the paddock, and just walk them by those things and look for more and more relaxation. And pretty soon, and even in the beginning, I might even let them touch the objects, encourage them to target the objects a little bit, so that they start learning that new objects are good. So sometimes in the beginning, you'll see them kind of going, what's that? And looking at it, and I'll click as they're making an effort. This is my phone. They maybe haven't seen a phone, but as I see them kind of making an effort and looking at it, I click that boldness and that curiosity and going towards it. And pretty soon, you're going to come up to new objects. They're almost going to be wanting to touch new objects because they're going to think, I just might get reinforced for this. That's the point where I start saying, well, now I want to teach you to ride by them. I don't want them going around looking for stuff to touch all the time, but in an intermediate phase, that's actually a very good habit, a very good pattern to teach them. But then after that, I want to teach them, ignore it. Ignoring new things is what's better than touching new things. So pretty soon, but then the onus falls on us because we have a tendency to quickly forget that something might be nervous when they're going towards it and showing us that that's new and different and they want to touch it. We kind of get it, oh, okay, yeah, I see that. That's interesting. Let's go do that. But so sometimes now they're going to go by things and be kind of like, I'm a little worried about it, but look, I'm keeping it together. And we can tend to forget that that's really important. So it's up to us to go, I don't know if you're worried about that or not, but I love that we're walking by that and you're just the same old guy, and click and reinforce those kind of things. And pretty soon that will become their new decision. They still may startle at something, but what we're doing is we're not taking the startle out of them. What we're doing is teaching them what do they do with that startle. We all get startled sometimes. So and that we're just teaching them, instead of flying off the handle, we're teaching them to cope with it. Your guy, I think the whole world becomes just a big scary thing. So it's a concept that creates the jigging, because he gets out there and thinks, this is just too much, I can't handle it, it's too much new, it's too much novel, I can't keep track of it all. When he starts learning new and novel is good, he's going to start learning that, well, it's okay being out here. And so I would do these de-spooking exercises around the barn, around the house, around the, the house, in the kitchen, in the arena, wherever he is and resides and lives and is every day. And you know how they are with new stuff in their environment. And he may be fine, seemingly, with new stuff in his environment normally, and that's fine. I would still do the exercises because it's a concept of new, novel stimuli that we want to get him to understand. New, novel things are good. So then as you get him good and strong with these things, then I would start saying, hey, can we just go out a little bit different area, but not over threshold. So maybe there's a part of your farm that is he gets a little off, if you ride around the outside of the paddock, not completely over threshold and lost, but not completely comfortable. And that'd be the first place I'd look for. So I'd go out there, and as you see him kind of getting worried, I might just ride in that little area for a little bit until you see him kind of start to go, I'm settling slightly. As soon as I feel that settling slightly, I'd say, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. And I'd reinforce him quite well and take him back. So you're reinforcing him two ways. One, you're clicking and reinforcing the relaxation, the softness, the choice to be a little bit softer. Doesn't have to be the perfect yet, but it's less than it was, And you're also reinforcing him by saying, that's all you have to do out here. It's just this little bit. And I'm going to take you out of this area that makes you nervous. So building up like that. Now, and like I said, he may not be spooky at specific objects, but giving him the concept, and it is a concept they learn, he will get better and better and better about about all new situations and things. That generalization, we can't prepare him for specific objects, places, sights, sounds, things, but that general learning, new things are good, carries over to a lot of situations. There's an example, and I may have even told you this at the clinic, about a woman who her horse was really spooky out on the trail, and to the point where the horse had broken. She'd had the horse forever, and she was never giving the horse up. She loved the horse, but every winter she'd be snowbound and inside, and then every spring, she'd go out on the trail and she'd get seriously injured because her horse would spook. So through the winter, she worked on just desensitization exercises, these spooky exercises that I gave her, and did this general desensitization. She heads out on the trail, and a partridge flies out of the brush. And so her horse splayed all 4 feet because it got startled, but didn't go anywhere. So she clicked and fed because she's like, oh my gosh, I'm still on you. I'm not laying on the floor with, the ground with broken ribs and collarbones and wrists and all the things I've broken. I'm still here. So she clicked and reinforced him. And so it was a mare. She was eating her food, and then the other partridge flew out of the brush. And all her mare did was look back at her like, are you going to feed that? Now, she couldn't prepare for a partridge flying out of the brush, but she could prepare for the concept of new, unusual, startling even stimuli is good. So I know that when you work on this with your horse, and just take the time and build that, especially since it's still wintry, I think that you will start to see a different reaction as you head out onto the trail. And then as you do head out, make it really short and sweet, and ever so gradually make it newer. So just don't head out into the great unknown. Go out just with a little bit, and maybe with one horse at first. So it's just 2. They can kind of process that, and then gradually move, see if you can get a couple people to go with you, and then 3 people. So remember, it is the gradual reintroduction into that world that can become too scary. And I really think the more horses lends itself to, I'm overwhelmed trying to watch all these things I'm trying to keep track of. I don't think it's, unless you see that in the arena, I don't think that's probably a horse thing. I just think it's just too much stimuli and he gets overloaded. So by breaking it down, going slowly, getting new things to be good and strong for them, and it builds their boldness and confidence so much. I think you'll see start to see some real progress and some real change with your guy. Anyway, so I hope that helps you out, Sabrina. Let me know how things are going, and if you have more questions as you're moving along, because those things can come up. Please give me a holler. We can always try and readdress it or see what else we can do to kind of help him work it out. Anyway, so keep me posted on your progress. Let me know if you have more questions, and if you or anybody else has questions about this or anything else, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me at AskShawna.com or ShawnaKarrasch.com. Okay, till next time, enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye.